Welcome to the Out There channel. This is going to be just like a little short summary episode of a live I've done in the past of a member's submission, and I think it's worth summarizing it from the 2 or 3 hour episode it was. How long was it? It was a couple of hours anyway. 2 hours 17 minutes, was it? Yep. So just before we start this one, I just want to talk about this this video here. Now, we'll just have a watch of it together and see what you think. Now, this is the so-called UFO that went viral a few years ago. Now, you can see bugs flying past. Lens, it's just repeating again. You can see it's been highlighted to enhance it a wee bit. And yeah, what do you think it is? Now, there's a few videos like this out there where people capture on their night vision cameras, on outside door cams and all that sort of stuff, and dash cam of a car, or auto, if you want to call it auto, vehicle. Now, you get a few of these every year being put up on UFO channels. So do you think it's an alien craft? Now, I'll just zoom in on it. See if I can make it bigger. Okay. I'll probably get something in the way though. Okay, it looks like a usual fuzzy blob that you get on infrared. It's always overexposed. You can see this film in a garden, or maybe a forest. It may be on a tree, this infrared camera. Where you get those, what you call it, standalone cameras that wrap around the tree so they can film Bigfoots or deer, you know, and what they call it, deer cams, livestock cams. Yeah, and it's amazing. It's 2017. Now you notice how it sort of fell down there. Almost looked like it slipped. See that? A drunk alien, you reckon? There you have it. Well, what that is most of the time it's these little spiders that come down of a tree branch, or they make these threads that float in the air, right? And we get them in New Zealand. I don't know about other countries, but certainly it's little spiders that could dangle in front of the lens of the infrared camera, and they form these big bright blobs which have no detail. I'll zoom in even further into it. And you can see there's a moth as well that keeps flying around. You can see the wings flapping, but you can see this is clearly a spider on a piece of web that's sort of blown around in a small breeze. I think you can see the trees just barely moving there. I'll just zoom in. Let's have a look. Can we see that any of the branches moving slightly? I think one's going upwards there. Very light breeze there, I think. But even so, the spider's weight itself is enough. And they swing it around and jump from one side to the other. They're quite gymnastics. I'll zoom in even more on it. Here we go. And does it give us any more clues? Alright, can you see the thread at all? You can't, can you? Because it doesn't give off any heat, you see. So it just looks like something just floating around. And see how it dropped there? It's almost like it slipped on the thread. Or something went loose at the top where it broke. The other ones you get is sometimes moths. If they're far enough away from the camera, they can flap around like that. And you do get moths that have got antifreeze in, and you get them at winter time. And you still get spiders at winter time too, because they live around the house where it's warm. But yeah, I think that's a really good capture. People would say it was a ghost orb, but really it's just something really mundane. Yeah. Okay. Now you can find lots of those top videos online if you've got the right keywords. Yep, so just keep that in mind, that it could be a very small object close to the camera that looks like a UFO craft far away from the camera. I bet if it was like a full color spectrum color, you might be able to see the thread itself. But yeah, see what happens with the camera technology. It can only get better. So let's go on to this main part, which was this case I got from a guy in Spain, Barcelona. And it was only like a 2-minute video, 2 and a bit minute video broken up into 3 videos for some reason. Maybe because he wanted to send it by email or something like that, I don't know. It looks like the alien needs to go up a wee bit. He's got his chin down too far. So yeah, I'll just skim through the video here and just talk over it, and you can then go and watch the full live stream of it if you want. So here is his video. Oh, I better mute. So at the moment he's got it aimed at the footpath, and I've got it trying to zoom in here because it's got it in portrait. So here's the UFO now that he was filming. Can only be a few pixels big, right? On 1080p, and that was it. It doesn't play very long at all. It was really badly recorded, I guess. But I saw it in the sky, and it was passing like this on a diagonal up to the corner, I believe. Passed it overhead. And then it went out, then it faded. Obviously it got too far away. You can see there's a branch of tree up the top here. I don't know if I can zoom off the zoom, but let's try. That looks better, doesn't it? Okay. Now I've got it on slow motion here, and you can see it slowly moving across right to left, and it's sort of blinking just like a UFO would, you know. And of course he moves up and down, goes to the footpath for some reason. I'm not too sure why. You can see his shadow there. So he wanted me to analyze it and prove it was a UFO or otherwise, and I did. He's got a soccer ball, I think it was. Okay, so it ended, as you can see. number one. So I did check out the metadata, which only really has a timestamp for videos. That's why it always also take a regular photograph, which is 4 times the quality, as you know. Photos can use the full sensor, well, the video is constrained to 1080p, which means 180 pixels vertical. But as you know, if you take a photograph, if it's on a megapixel camera, which I believe this is the iPhone you had it on, because it's a movie file, wasn't it? I think it was iPhone anyway, but it looks like it's MP4 there. I think it says QuickTime somewhere in the metadata here. Oh yeah, there it is, QuickTime there. And it's saved it into an MP4 container. If you don't understand containers, basically it's just like a header file. So inside the video you have a video track and an audio track, but you put it into a container. And now a container used to be AVI, what was the other ones? Windows video file, MWV or something like that. What's some of the other ones they used to play in old times? Xvid. They used to have all these different containers anyway, but the most common one today that you probably only know about really is MP4, and you may have heard of PG, what was it, PGP or something like that they use on phones. But yeah, MP4 is the most favored container, and inside that container it can have a video track which is encoded with either what they call compression 264 or 265. 264 is used for HD video, 1080p or lesser, and 265 is used for 4K or upwards. Has a newer compression technique, and it's designed to handle larger files. And it seems to compress even smaller actually as well, which is quite amazing. But obviously it probably needs more processing power to do that. So here I am trying to look at all the different videos he sent and information I really was standing. Okay, so maybe I can speed it up there. Whereabouts was the one where we could see it close up? Did I do that there at all? I may have missed it while I was talking. I didn't see it. But it was like a little slow moving blob. Maybe I repeat it later. So what I do is I grab some screen snapshots from it, but you can see, because it's QuickTime, for some reason it has a field in it to tell it which way the phone was rotated. So it comes in wrong in the editor, so you have to rotate it. Let's just have a quick look at that one again. It's a really hard video to even see what he was trying to see. The eyes can see it better than the camera, obviously. Okay, there's a tree. So it's got to be that white blob at the top there. So I'm taking a snapshot of that one. What's going on? And it turned out to be motion blurred. So I take another one, and then I rotate it around properly. And you can see it's not actually a white dot when you zoom right into it. So it's actually elongated here. So I run it through some filters to try and de-overexpose it, because phones always overexpose it because they have the shutter open longer. Alright, and it was slow moving in the sky. So it stayed in the sky for 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes. He managed to film some of it when he saw it. So it could be slightly stretched there with some motion blur. But I don't think so, because it was moving too slow, as you can see. If it's like a fast moving bug, then you expect it to be stretched, you know, a little small object closer. But this is far away, and a fairly high spec phone camera. In fact, it probably films better than my one, because mine wouldn't even pick up that sort of little light in the sky. So it must have a bit better sensor in it. But you can see there that you can see that there is some, you can see the pixels. But there's also some cloud mist there as well, and compression artifacts. You can see the black thing that goes around the outside here. That's all to do with MP4. Well, I say compression, but I'd say it's 264 compression, because I talked about MP4 being a container, but people just call it MP4 like it's like the whole video, which is an incorrect way of saying it, but it's a lot easier to say it like that. That's just video compression. So from there I check out the timestamps as well, and see that it was an hour different on the phone video to what he said it was. But as you know, it could be in different time zone formats, like GM, Spain time format, whatever, which is called CST. So straight away I see it's got two halves, right? And I'm looking for a picture of the International Space Station to compare it to. And so I choose one that's sort of got the mirrors completely upwards. But you can see they can change the direction to the sun a wee bit on these. They can move them. Yeah, then I just stick it through the editor, and I'll do a side by side and scale it up. Where is it? Yeah. So here, that side is of the two veins, and you can see it's less elongated that side to this side. So this side does actually look like it's going to be the 4 going this way, because it's actually longer, and it still needs to be stretched. And just to show you why I think it's the space station by this video analysis alone, and then I plug it into the app after this. Yeah, I'll scale it a bit bigger and then show you there. And you can see how it goes skinny in the middle like a dumbbell. Well, it goes skinny here, but it's also very bright here. But anyway, it's only a few pixels, and it was enough to see there was a possible shape to it, which wasn't UFO shape. When it's overexposed, it kind of looked like a UFO, but when you reduce the quality down of the light, you can see it's very whispery here, no solid craft, and it looks like a light reflection, which is what it is. So I talk about the apps you can use at the time to aim at the sky here, and if more UFO sky watchers did install the apps and aim at the sky when they see something, they may be able to tell whether it's a satellite or a planet or a meteorite shower, or if you install another app called Flight Radar 24, you can also, so that's heavens above for the sky watching for space. And if you install Flight Radar 24, you can actually then hold up to the sky and see if it's a plane in the distance. Because a bright white light could be a plane moving in the sky too, right? And Spain has a really busy airport there. But we didn't see any flashing red lights, and which you normally get with a collision avoidance, and we don't see, multiple lights. Normally you see like 3 lights in the sky for a plane. That one was just one big long stretched one. So, but if you put it through all the different apps and then you work out it can't be a plane because no plane was in that location at the time, and which I think I did later, and also you run it through this and then you find out whether there's a space station flying over at that time. So further on, I use a web browser program. And let's see if I can get it there. And here it is here. And it's called inthesky.org. And it has a lot of parameters. And you can turn on all the visible satellites, which is Iridium and Space Station, and it will plot it for you on the computer if you enter the correct times. And that's the important bit, is to work out the time zone. And it turned out to be 8:30 CST time, Spain. And I think we show it here at one stage. Let's see. Alright, CE time. Right. Don't they call it España or something like that? Or European time or something like that? So CE time, 2026, and the date. And you can select which satellites you want. And it reckons it's got 80 over that globe at the moment. Okay, let's move along a bit. Here we go. So straight away you can see there's the International Space Station flying at the bottom of Spain there. Madrid, is it? And Barcelona, you can see, is at the very top here. So he probably would have spotted it when it was there, started filming, and he would have seen it fly diagonally overhead within a few minutes and then disappear because it gets too small. So that's how you can use the software, right? Plug in the correct time and date, the correct time zone, and set your location for viewing, which I set to Barcelona, I think, and watch the satellites pass overhead. You can see the different colours, and I think yellow was the brightest, and the other ones, red, were a wee bit dimmer. Although we should have been able to see these other satellites. Let's see, what's that one? that and Eurosat. But the phone may not have picked it up, so almost flying together there would have created almost a triangle shape. Anyway, that's basically it. That was how many minutes to get that far. Of course, I talked a wee bit longer, so that's up 1 hour just to get into there. Now, he was like a regular Sky watcher. He captured daytime as well as nighttime stuff. Okay, let's just move on a bit. I was trying to see it with the star locations. GPS, or stationary ones, 3 of them. Normally you have 3 GPS satellites to be able to get triangulation. And that's why sometimes they can form a triangle shape in the sky. Alright, so this is a close-up. Let me just check, unmute it. The white dot, this is actually a street lamp here, I think. Alright.
Samsung. And I thought,
there you go, so I put some filters in.
alright,
So I'm talking about my sight in there, that's nothing to do with it. Yeah, so we had an outside street light and I was getting this bright light in the sky, very similar to what he was seeing, but mine turned out to be Venus. And you can see there's no other stars in the sky, or you can't see the moon, because it was totally overcast, so this must have been extremely bright to pierce the thin cloud cover there. But strange that I didn't see any other stars there on the moon. So that really had to be debunked, or a real sighting. So I documented it and used the apps for the first time myself on a tablet. And I looked up rocket launches. SpaceX was putting up stuff at the time. And then I looked at his... Alright, I looked for planes today. Alright, it's called CST. What was that there? So it's abbreviated CET or CST. Well, looks of it. No, can't see it now. It was there just a minute ago. That's alright, we'll just move on. Yeah, it looks like I may have looked on Plane Finder as well. Just to complete this one. And there was no plane that would have been hidden in that direction that would have been visible. 5 miles, that one there looks like it might be 15. And the airport, pretty close, 10. But because we didn't see blinking lights on it, and it would have been... So where was Barcelona there? That's the problem with the plane finder map. It's not as good as Google's. It must have been there in that location. But yeah, we'll just move on. Do I play it again? Let's have a look. And what's this one here? This picture, isn't it? Oh no. Let's see. The last one. Looks like. Oh no, screen snapshot. Unfortunately, I haven't got access to the videos anymore. I know I did manage to get a real close up of it at one stage. I thought it might have been there. There it is. But yeah, if he just had the app. The thing is, he was moving it all around, even though it was actually moving across the sky. It wasn't obvious, which can fool us, you know. We think it's moving around like a UFO, when it's actually just going calmly in a straight line past, you know. On his phone, right? I don't know if we've got a real close up. I'm pretty sure there is one. Is that it? So there we go. Something that stays in the sky 2 minutes. So that's as close as we got to zooming it in. I think a plane would stay longer in the sky than 2 minutes, so you can see how the slight movement of the hand makes this look more UFO-like. Rule out plane, but we know if we go to. Okay, so that's pretty much it. But how come I couldn't get to it from? Just mute that again. Can't have two of us talking. But I should wrap it up now, really. Alright, I was looking at the flight paths of International Space Station, and as we know that they're only in the sky like 1, 2, 3 minutes on average, you know. Let's have a look. 5 minutes, 1 minute, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So it varies quite a lot. Alright. So you can see there on the same night, because it comes around the Earth every 1.5 hours, which is 90 minutes, so 6 o'clock would have been 40 minutes in the sky. And then 7:45, it was only a minute in the sky. Comes on a different angle. And as you can see, 25 degrees instead of 40. And it's lower on the horizon, so you see less of it because of the curvature of the Earth, right? And he also took some daytime stuff, which I analysed and saw it had a shape of a balloon. He had a few of balloon video snaps, which were Mylar balloons and weather balloons. That one's bug, but that's on another video. Right, okay. Alright, so that was it. Probably best to watch the whole episode to see how I broke it down. As you know, it's all unscripted, and sometimes you trip and do the wrong clicks and all that sort of stuff. Like, this is actually a live breakdown. Anyway, yeah, I should just end it with my credits thing, shouldn't I? End credit thing. And say goodnight. Go and check out the live episodes. It's live 162. And yeah, I'll upload this now once I'm finished. Looks like that took 30 minutes, but I did add a few extra bits in there. But you've gone through the process right, you could probably repeat the whole breakdown with the same files in 10 to 20 minutes, right? Because you've already done it once and you know what the answer is, and just run it straight down as a final solution. Anyway, good night. Let's see if I can end this. Is it stopping?